Okay, I have a question from Vineet that he had cleared the technical rounds and the HR round result is not declared. So yeah, like usually they take the in the on-campus placement they take the only technical round, but in some cases they also take the HR round where they can ask you about your project. And in the Engage, I think because the project is also one of the topic because on the basis of which they are hiring you. So I don't know what kind of questions they ask in HR round, but I think they might ask about project and other related stuffs.
Minute in delay in the session. Ritika, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please start the session. Yeah,
Okay.
please proceed with the session. Yeah, I'm done with my part. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Good evening, all. Thank you for giving me opportunities, and we are joining here for the today's webinar. My name is Ritika Bambulkar, and I am a public relation at Engineerhub. Welcome to the seminar, How to Crack Microsoft Interviews. I take this opportunity to welcome today's speaker, Ms. Monika Rathore, ma'am. She has completed her BTech degree from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. Later on, she joined software engineer at Microsoft. She believes in a hard work and growing and learning. She helps to motivate students as well as guiding their juniors to get placement and internship in a Microsoft Edge. She received offer from the Zomato user and Amazon and Google as well. So now I request Monika ma'am to take a call and please share some of your knowledge as well as put some sites on quality topics.
Yeah, sure. So first, as you already introduced me, so I'll just give a short intro. So myself, Monica, and I graduated last year from IIT Kanpur. And those who have this taboo that only computer science student get an internship or the placement. So I'm from the electrical branch, and I joined Microsoft soon after my college ended, do campus placement, and recently in this year about March, I think I really looked out for the another companies. So during that time I received offer from Uber, Zomato. You heard of Startup File, Epify, a payment app, and Amazon, and finally landed an offer from Google as well. So yeah, I think I'll start with the process of Microsoft, and I'll tell how the on-campus placement was. And in between, if you have any doubt, you can raise your hand or ask in the chat. Rutika maybe take over the questions and then I'll be able to answer. So Rutika, I just wanted to know how should I start? Should I start with the process of the Microsoft, like how the all the process is, like the test and the interviews and everything?
So anyone of unmute yourself and please respond to Monica ma'am answer.
Yeah, you can please tell you are from electrical background, right? So how you came like this to CSC?
I think
Why?
Vinity has said to go with the process. Whole process of Microsoft.
Okay. I'll just wait for a couple of minutes for the responses in the chat.
Please go to the beginner level, like who is from starting level. So you can please go through like that.
Yeah, sure. Okay, then I think I should start. So before starting about the whole process, it's like a fourth year when the team come to your college. But before that, I would like to answer the question that I am from electrical branch and then how I shifted my interest to the coding or CSC branch. So it's like when you are from the like any other branch, not specific from the electrical, any other branch, so your course is mainly focused on the other side. Like let's say if you are from material science, then you have the courses of the material science or maybe electrical. Then you have to give a time for a coding alone. So every college, I assume, that have a basic course of this coding, and apart from that, there is none of the other course that your branch offer you. So you have to take your time out and then started coding. So if you think that you are interested in coding, then you can start with the lead code or code chef and code force. You start with it, and because that basic course teaches you the basic theory and everything. Then from there you can start and then start building your DSA and the algorithm knowledge. So this is how I started without having a CS background. And meanwhile, you can have a few projects that will build your profile stronger, because when making a resume for your placement or internship, then there should be some like at least one of the project that is relevant to your profile. So let's say I need to apply for a coding profile or maybe software engineer profile, but my resume has an mechanical background project or electrical background project, so that won't help me much in that particular profile. So make sure when you are in your second year or third year, you are doing some project that is related to software engineer skill or maybe open sources and anything. So this is about that question. Then I'll move to the whole process. So in the college or maybe off campus as well, so the first thing first is the coding test. So they'll conduct a screening test before taking you to the next level. So in that screening test, there will be 3 questions. It may vary from easy to hard level. And to get shortlisted, at least you should solve 2 questions. But there are the things that you need to consider while taking the test. Many of the time what happened is we got stuck in one question. We thought that, okay, we can solve it, and we spend our whole time to that question, and the next 2 questions we didn't see. And even we can't see if they are easy, we can solve it. So you spend your whole time in that particular question. So it is very much recommended, if you see that you are losing your time against one question, go to the other question and see if you can solve those questions. So you have to manage your time in between. The second biggest mistake that we did is we solve a question, but it's not passing all the test cases. So it's not mandatory, but if you have solved the question, you have written the logic, then you can easily find out the edge cases, so that your all the test case should pass. So these 2 things that you need to keep in your mind while taking the test. So once you have cleared the test, then the Microsoft will invite you for the on-site interview. So it may vary, like your interview can be up to 3 rounds, and it can end in the first round itself. So it depends. If they think that they have evaluated in you only in 1 round, then they can take 1 round of coding interview only. And if they thought that, okay, you need more rounds, so they can go up to 3 rounds. So this is how the process is. And in the coding interview, teach the interviewer as your friend. So they are there to help you. So let's say you are in your 4th year, and your interview will be like 2-year experience, just 2 years senior from you. So treat them as a friend. They are also a graduate from the college, and they are at your position at one time. So they are not your enemy or something. They are always there to help you. So like the things that you need to take care is, if they are asking some question and you have a doubt, you don't have a clear picture of question, then you can ask them again and clear your understanding. That is the first thing before you can solve the question. And while solving the question, if you want some hint, then you can also like show that how you are thinking. Then they also know where you are, so they can help you out. So these are the things that you need to take into consideration while taking the interviews. And interview will be mainly focused on the I would say important topics like graph, DP, and maybe basic iteration, recursion, and everything. And interview will be like 45 minutes or can go up to 1 hour. And if they have like simple question, then they can ask 2 questions in 1 round. And if they have like a medium level question, then they can like start with a simple question and then modify that question further. So this is how the process looks like. And after the end of these 3 rounds or maybe 2 rounds, if you clear those rounds, then they'll finally extend an offer to you. So this is about the process. Meanwhile, like you have the doubts in any particular question, I'll be happy to answer. Okay, I got one question from Ashwini that can I tell like major project or ideas to make in 3rd year and 4th year. So if like web development, so I was a mentor of Engage program that was conducted by Microsoft, via which they also extend an internship. So there was project, like a simple project. Let's say you all have used the chatting bot, or like here also in the Meet we have this chat bot, or we use the Teams app where we can chat. So you can just start with these basic things where you develop a chatbot where two of your friends can chat with each other, can have a video call. So this is one project that you can work upon. Then second is during the COVID, we all shifted to the online platform. So for a professor to manage the course, they can have a website where they can have an attendance of the students, they can have the marks of each student. So these kind of project I think you can make during your third and fourth year, and there are like lots of sources online you'll find that will help you to make this project. Okay, I have a question from Vineet, that he had cleared the technical rounds and the HR round result is not declared. So yeah, like usually they take the in the on-campus placement, they take the only technical round, but in some cases they also take the HR round where they can ask you about your project. And in the Engage, I think because the project is also one of the topic, because on the basis of which they are hiring you. So I don't know what kind of questions they ask in HR round, but I think they might ask about project and other related stuffs. And you are asking me about telling you the opportunity where your Engage interview helps. I think only the experience that you gain through that interview can help you other future interview, and the opportunity that you had gained from it, because you have completed a project out of it when you participated in Engage. So whenever it will be in your resume, so whenever you'll be shortlisted for any other company, so it will help you because you have completed a project and you have the skills and the things that you have worked in that project. Yeah, so I know like this happened. So I'm still answering the Vineet's question that the HR round was not declared. So unfortunately, what happened is the position that was open for the Engage students. So the positions are fulfilled, and still there were some interviews that were going on, and they have to close that without declaring the result because there were no left position. So that is something unfortunate, Vineet. So can't help in that. And then Aditya question is how much role CP has in getting placed in Microsoft. So I think how much role, like I don't understand your question clearly. Can you just unmute yourself and tell me like in what aspect you are asking, like how much role? Do you ask like how much practice you want, or is it all coding or something? Aditya?
Yeah, I was asking that if how much in sense of role, I wanted to ask if being a 5-star or 6-star in Bootstrap or some Port Forces, does that highlight our increase our chances in getting placed in Microsoft? Or lit code is enough? Like that question, is lit code enough or CP is necessary?
Okay, understood. So if you say that how much CP is required, so this I would say that it doesn't matter that how much you practice. If your logics are clear, if your concepts are clear, then you'll be able to solve the question in the interview. The only thing that matters is if your solids and if your concepts are clear, then only you'll be able to solve the question in the interview. So if in the interview you are able to solve the question, then you'll be shortlisted or you'll be hired. So there is nothing like how much CP, but yeah, if you are like good, you have good rating in the Code Chef, Code First, then you can also mention that in your resume. It's one plus point. But if you say that how much practice we need to do to get placed into this particular company, so I think you'll like have an idea about yourself, or you can analyze yourself that how much I have improved or how many questions I can solve. And also in the lead code discuss section, there is like a discuss section where people usually come and post their interview question. So you can just go there and try to solve the question, and you can see that how much I am able to think. So I'd say that keep practicing and you'll feel confident, and nothing it's like that I have done much coding, I have not done much coding, will I be shortlisted? So it all depends upon your concept and how good you are in coding. And then there
So
is a
then,
yes,
can I
Anshul.
ask a follow-up? Yeah, so about that, I agreed that CP is good for increasing our problem-solving skills. But my question was I was not able to explain it clearly. But people say that some people say that lead course is enough, but CP is necessary for online assessment. That test we give before that
Okay,
if
got
we
it.
are applying for internship online assessment, CP is necessary. Without doing
Okay, okay, got
CP,
it.
if we are hard to lead
Hmm.
code and stuff.
Yes, yeah. Okay, got it for the test. Yeah. So see, when you'll be practicing on the lead code, there is no time limit. You can you are not racing against time, and you don't know like, am I able to solve that question in the particular time frame? If you are doing CP, then there is two things. One is you are racing against time, and the second is the question will be new, and you don't have enough time to think through. So you see a new question, you create a logic and you do it. So CP is a benefit, I can say a plus point when you are like in the test, because in the CP you also think through the critical cases or edge cases for which your code is not passing. So CP, I can say that is a plus point which can add a value to your coding skill, but it is not a must thing, because I can say that I also did CP only on the code force. Code force. I feel that the questions logic are more mathematical, so I can't relate it to the real life test. But code force is a good platform where you can create your logic and race against time. So yeah, CP is a plus point, I say, but it's not like must have thing. But if anyhow you have to adopt one platform where you can analyze yourself against time, because many a time what happen is person will be able to solve the question, but the time is limited. So anyhow you have to analyze yourself against the time. So it is a plus point if you do. I hope this answered your question.
Yeah, understood. And one more that you said that CodeChef is mathematical and CodeForces is much more real life based.
Opposite. I said,
Opposite.
yeah, code shift.
CodeForces.
Yeah, code forces. It's like I think, or maybe it's only my perception. I feel it's like more mathematical, and I can't relate it to the test that was given by the company. I can more relate the lead code contest via the like the test that the company gives. If you see the similarity between code forces and the real test the companies are giving, it's not much similar. So in that sense, I say, but your logic skill will be rapidly growing if you do the code force. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Understood.
Then I have a question from Ishita Sahu. How can I apply off campus? So yeah, you can go to the Microsoft website. There in the job section, you will find the open roles and ID. You can apply directly, or you can reach out to the LinkedIn to the employees who are working in the Microsoft. Just drop down a mail. Hey, XYZ, I'm looking for an internship, and this role fits me, and just tell about your profile and ask them to refer you, because if you apply through referral, then the chances are high that your resume get shortlisted or maybe get reviewed instead of when you are applying without referral. Then there is Ashwini Verma. Is participating in hackathons worth it? So I'd say there are like multiple kinds of hackathons. Some is like coding hackathons, some are like project basis. And I think it's worth it because it will add a plus point on your resume. You have learned something out of it, but it depends. If it's taking like much time, you see that, okay, my internship or my placement season is coming and I need to focus more on this particular thing. And at that time you are focusing more on hackathon. It's basically self-analyzing, but yeah, if you want to participate, and participation is worth it. And then, is it necessary to do CP? I think I covered this question. How to approach questions in coding rounds, and we have to code in PC or write down a notes at interview time? Okay, so it depends for different companies. While interview, some company ask you to write the code on the Google Doc, and you have to write the code just like it's running, because sometimes what happened is we write the code, we run it, and then we see, okay, this is the error, there is the error, then we correct it. But the interviewer expect you to write an error-free code. So sometimes they ask you to just write on a OneNote. Sometimes they ask you to open a particular, I think, just a minute. Yeah, so some interviewer asks you to write the solution on the notepad or maybe some ID. So make sure whenever you are writing a code, it's like less error prone, because visualize yourself as an interviewer and somebody is in front of you giving the interview, and he or she has solved the question, but she is like running and every time she is getting error. So what impression you have on the other side? So try to write the error-free code, and if possible, try to write a code just for the practice on a simple ID and or maybe a notepad, and then copy to the ID just to see that how much error-free it is. So yeah, it depends on the companies. They might ask you to write on the notepad or OneNote or maybe on the ID. So is intern is necessary before placement? No, it's not necessary. But if you have an intern, then it will boost your resume and your experience as well. But it's not necessary to have an intern before placement, because I have also seen the cases where people didn't able to fetch an internship in their third year, but they have placed in the good companies at the end of the fourth year, because in that intern time they have worked on their self, like on the projects, or they improved their coding skill. So that is they utilize their time as well. But yeah, it's not necessary to have an intern before placement. And then there was a lot of controversy related to Microsoft Engage program that happened recently, that there were rumors leaks like many people got internship offers without an ADSA round, and also some people have copied project and they were shortlisted. It really creates a tension in my mind as I am a tier 3 college. I would rather don't say anything about it, but there were the cases where people were evaluated on the basis of their project, solely on the basis of their project, and they have I think one round, a combined round, and then they were extended the offer. But if I'd say that if it's really creating a tension in your mind, I don't think so that you need to create this tension, because sometimes it happens that the person who is doing less effort than you is getting better opportunity. It might happen, but you don't have to shift your attention to that particular. You have to shift your attention to yourself, to grow yourself, because that only helps you. You can't go and correct everything. There were rumors like in the college intern and placement also during the COVID time, when I was in the placement season, this kind of tension was there in my mind as well, because as it was online, so in the test there was a cheating cases as well. So I was like, okay, what will happen to me? But then I soon realized that this tension only ruined my time and my brain. So it's better to focus on yourself, your preparation, without focusing what's happening around, if it's not correct or anything. So I would say that don't take this tension in your mind. Just keep your effort and your focus on yourself. So there is another question. Will the interviewer ask the question based on my resume or related to the subjects I have studied in my college? Okay. So the interviewer can ask a question based on a resume. Like everything you have written on a resume, you should be very much aware of it. Let's say I wrote a project on my resume that I have done in my first year, and now I'm in my third year, and I don't remember what I did in that project, but I wrote it in my resume. So interviewer is expecting you to know every detail that you have written in resume. So it's better to revise what you have done by looking at the resources or the project itself. So they can ask you question related to resume and then related to the subject I have studied in my college. So if you have written that I have completed this particular course, let's say I have completed the database management course. So there are chances that they can ask you the question related to your subject as well. So yeah, better prepared with your resume and the subjects that you have studied in your college. And then there is, I don't think so. There is a question from Anushka that do we need to score good marks in our semester exams for a Microsoft and Google like companies? I'd say there is a plus point if you would maintain your SPI or CPI throughout your college. But if you say that, okay, this particular score will at least guarantee me a placement or intern in Microsoft and Google, it's not that case. And other way around also. But yeah, they prefer students within like average CPI, maybe I'd say. Like if you are like above 7, then it's good. If you are not, then you can do effort and make it above 7 at least. And then there is a question from Prashant. I am 2022 pass out from Tier 3 college. Is good knowledge and development also necessary with DSA for resume shortlisting or clearing exam? I don't think so. If you have like good DSA knowledge, because for the entry level software engineer, let's say because there are so many students who are coming from the different branches and everything, so they don't actually expect you to have a development knowledge or any other knowledge. They just judge you on your DSA skill. So if you have like a good grasp on the DSA, then it will help you in clearing exam. And there is another question like resume shortlisting. So if you have like a decent or maybe 1-2 project related to your profile, then it will help you in your resume shortlisting. Then there is a question from Pooja. When we can say now we are prepared for Microsoft or other companies? I think that stage never comes when we are like very much confident that okay, now we are prepared for giving the test. Because in every time it's not gonna happen that you'll be able to solve all the questions or every question you are seeing you are able to like guess the logic of it. But yeah, when you feel like a little prepared, let's say I started the coding and now I know, okay, almost all the concepts I'm aware of, I'm doing good. Then at that point, you can start looking for the job and the companies. And with the process, you will learn, but there is not a perfect time when you will be saying that, okay, I'm prepared. So, but you can at least analyze yourself, okay, now I'm doing good. And this much, if I'm like, able to do this much questions or in this much time, so maybe I can apply for the company. So there will be like may part, but you are not never sure that okay, now I'm fully prepared. Then there is a question from Pooja Kumari. What about aptitude? So I'd say that in the companies which are like hiring you for the software engineer role, they don't usually ask aptitude. But if you are like going for a mixed kind of role, then there might be an aptitude question, but generally there are not. Can you share your resume link for reference purpose and your LinkedIn? I'll share my LinkedIn profile. There you can find my resume as well. Just a minute, I'll just share. Sorry for offing my camera because the light problem is here, so I just turned it off.
Sure, ma'am.
So I just pasted LinkedIn profile. And then please share some resource for Java DSA as I'm facing problem. I want a source from where I can trust and complete the course without switching to many resources. Okay. So I am really sorry that I am not sure about the resources for Java DSA, but I'll try to find it out. And if I'll find some good resources, then I'll share with you. I actually did my coding majorly in C++, so But yeah, I'll try to find it out, and then, because I know these days you'll find like many resources and you'll be confused which to start with. But there is just one general solution that I want to give is before starting a course, like let's say there are like XYZ websites, and then you started the course at X website, then you see the Y website and you think that okay, this is better than this, so I'll switch to this. So before at least starting, just see all the website and choose the best one. And yeah, I think that is the one suggestion, so that you'll like less switch will happen in that case. But yeah, not sure about the good Java DSA. Then there is another question, which language will be better for DSA, Java, Python or C? So it doesn't matter. Earlier what happened is the Python compiler I think is slower, so some test cases got stuck in the Python language because they have a limit, like this particular code should run in this particular time. So there were some test cases which are taking longer time and that got stuck in the Python. But now I think the IDE are like taking care of these particular problems. So it doesn't matter in which language you want to write the code. So in whichever language you are comfortable, you can start coding. Either it can be Java, Python or C. Every person start with C because I think it's a basic language, and then Python, it's more readable and similar with the Java. So whichever language you prefer, you can start with. Can we also use JavaScript? I don't think that JavaScript is an option in the coding, but not sure. Because in the development, you have created like website and the things like that. So there is a use of JavaScript, but I don't think in the coding you have JavaScript as an option, but not sure. If there is any unanswered question also, you can just write in and unmute yourself. I'll be happy to answer.
There is one question from Prashant, ma'am, from where we did learn C++.
Okay, from where did I learn C++? Okay. So I'd say that I just started initial like in my college itself, they taught an initial C++. Then I started coding, and I think I have a cheat sheet where some basic STL libraries were there and some things were there which we usually learn the language, but there are shortcuts and everything that exist in that particular language. Like you can implement stack and you can just use the stack from the library itself. So there was one cheat sheet that I had. I'll try to find it and give you. But if I'll say that I didn't follow any particular website to learn C++, as I have a like basic knowledge of C++. Which domain is better for Microsoft? I'm a full stack developer. Okay, I'm also, I think, not a correct person to answer this because as I am a backend developer there, so it depends on your interest. If you are like full stack developer or backend or front end, so if you are like, if you feel like I am enjoying this particular development, then you can opt for it. So yeah, it depends on you. Nothing is like better, less good or more good. How to start learning this? I'm finding good course to learn DSA in Java. Can you share some good one? Also, is it worth to buy paid course for DSA? So yeah. Earlier at my time, I'd say that there is one book, Corman. I used to read it for theory. I can share that link. Kritika, if you can just write down like the things that I told that I'll share, then ping me later so that I can.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, there is one book, Corman, that I refer for theory, and I just need to read the theory so that I can understand what particular concept is in that particular algorithm, and then I used to code it. So I prefer a book, but buying a paid course for DSA, you can just read the review of that course and see that how many people have benefited from it and where they are right now. and then decide whether to buy that course or not. Because there are cases where you are not able to study DSA in your college. What happened with me is in our college, there is one good thing is you can also opt for the CSC course if you want. So I opted for the DSA course. So I learned the DSA algorithm in theory there. So I don't have to like struggle much for looking at the online portal. So yeah, see the reviews of the course and decide whether you need to pay for that course or not. Okay, I find it hard to explain why I used particular technique. For example, sorted array used to find it, but it's hard to explain why I used. Rohit, can you just elaborate your problem statement? I didn't get it correctly, I think. Rohit Joshi.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
When I solve a question I know the intuition. If the input is sorted, I use two pointer directly.
Mm-hmm.
But when someone says elaborate this cell, then I find it difficult to explain why I used two pointer or why I used stack here.
Yeah, so I think for that, I'm not sure, but it's happening because might be you have you taken a reference from a solution and you know, okay, two pointer is used. But if you don't know why you are using two pointer, then stop your coding there only. Take a pen paper and think what are the other solution that can apply to that particular question, and then you will figure yourself that why two pointer I am using, because it's already sorted array. I think I'll not explain it here. You just do it by yourself, because if you're solving a question and you don't know why I'm solving in that particular way, then there is some glitch in the or the gap in the theory part or maybe the concept part, because the array is already sorted. So to find a particular element, you don't need to trace the array from end to end, because now you know which element is there where. So I think you need to work out on the theory and the concept part before, because if you don't know why I'm using that particular technique, so usually you don't know why you are solving that question in that technique. So I think this is a major problem.
Okay,
Because
ma'am.
if you'll find another question, you won't be able to think like this also.
Ma'am, I use prefix sum and sliding window for same kind of questions.
No. So yeah. So you
So-
have to like understand the theory, like when to use two pointers. If the array is not sorted, then will the two pointer use of two pointer will make sense. So these kind of questions should arise in your mind. That then only you'll be able to think why in that particular case I'm using two pointers. So maybe you can read the theory. These type of question can be solved by this particular technique. But the thing is, why this particular technique? Why I'm using the sliding window in particular question? Why I'm not using the sliding window in that particular question? So these all kind of questions should arise, and you have to see what's the pattern and how it's happening. Because if you are not able to figure out why this particular technique you are using, then there is like a major problem. Maybe we can talk offline about it.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so
Thank you, ma'am.
yeah, sure. Are certifications necessary? So I say not necessary, but if you have, then it's a good, because then like you have like in your resume you can say, okay, I have completed the DSA course, and you have like a legal certificate of it. But yeah, it's not necessary, but good to have. I think. At which level of DSA is enough for Microsoft coding round? Currently, I'm able to solve easy question easily, but medium level questions are taking time. It's okay if they are taking time. You will be like soon able to solve the medium level questions. But if you are saying that at which level of DSA is enough, so I'd say all the important topics you should cover the theory part. And yeah, one major thing is, for every question and each and every question you are solving, you should write the time and the space complexity. It's very important to understand the space and time complexity of your solution or the logic. And if you think that all the major topic you have covered, you are able to solve the questions, and you can identify the pattern in this particular type of questions, this particular thing will work, then you are enough, like that much DSA is enough for the coding round. Theory book for DSA of Java and C language. Please guide us how to start the DSA course. Okay. Some theory book. I have one theory book for that I said common. I'll share the link of that and then guide us to start the DSA course. Okay. So I'd say that starting a DSA course, for that I'm assuming all of you have a like basic knowledge of C and C++. So first list out all the topics that you should cover in the DSA. Then starting from the first topic, and then the first topic, let's say array is the first topic. Then I'll read the theory of that array, maybe from Geeks for Geeks or a particular book. And then I'll try to solve the question, understand the time and space complexity. So by this logic, you can cover all the topics and ultimately you'll cover the DSA. And how much question must have been solved by any student to get strong grasp on the topic? So it doesn't depend on the how much question, it depends on how you are solving the question. So let's say I solve an array question. So like I think Rohit had asked, or yeah. So he solved like, let's say 20 questions or maybe 15 questions on the sorted array where he used the 2-pointer. But if he is not sure about how to, sorry for naming it particularly, maybe I can switch the example. So yeah, so let's say I am solving a particular question where I'm using a sliding window, and I saw in the solution, okay, I can solve this particular question using sliding window, but I don't know the concept where to use the sliding window, then there is no sense of solving lots of questions. So how you solve the question is important. So the strategy would be, you are clear about the theory or the logic, you are clear about the time complexity, space complexity, and you are able to think through the solution. So then only you will have this strong grasp on the topic. So first have a strong grasp on the theory part and analyze the time and space complexity. Then on that particular topic, you can solve like 5 or 6 questions just to make sure that you have like I'd say that you are able to solve the question of that particular topic. So I'd say that 2 easy, 2 medium, or 1 hard maybe, and then you can say, okay, I'm like strong enough in this particular topic. Is there any other question?
Any questions? Yeah, please type in chat box if you have or not. Just yes or no.
I think all are in the weekend mode now. Yeah. I think.
But everything has been clear, I think, because the silence say everything.
It is Corman.
One question. Yeah, Prashant Thomas of the particular.
Yes, Corman algorithms. Yeah, Introduction to Algorithm book name. Yeah. I have a PDF of this. I'll just share a link. Like back, my mentor had shared this with me, so I'll share it. It's Thomas H. Corman. So. I'll share it with Rutika, and then she'll communicate further where you'll be getting all the links.
Sure. Is there any other questions?
I think now that's a wrap then.
Yes, Kulava sir, Madhu sir, should I wrap up the section or is there any question left?
No, I think we should wrap.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I would like to thank our speaker, Monika ma'am, who blesses with her present. Thank you, Monika ma'am, for making this webinar a very meaningful and interesting. Words are not enough to make our thank you for your support and constant motivation to the webinar. My sincere thanks to Rishabh sir, Madhu sir, and Kuldeva sir for helping us and supporting to conduct this webinar. I am very much thankful for all the participants and the members for always standing us and motivate us. I am very proud to have and make this successful event. If time is money, then we have spent millions for us. And thank you for all for making this event successful. Have a wonderful staying at Engineerhub and enjoy the day.
Thanks, Ritika, for inviting me, and like a great initiative by Engineerhub, because at my time also I was like seeking guidance and with whom to reach and whom not to, and this is a very good platform to help people.
Thank you so much for supporting us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Your time.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
My battery is about to dead. I don't know when I'll be kicked off of this meeting.
Okay, no issue.
Good night, ma'am.
Good night. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.
Good night, ma'am.
Session is over. You can leave the meeting. No issue.